Warning, non-meta opinion incoming. If you're addicted to meta, watch this video at your own risk. You have been warned. Today we will be discussing this magnificent multicolored space dragon ninja robot that definitely isn't gay, especially when he pukes up the entire rainbow. Okay, enough joking around for now. This is the guy I main in this beautiful game called Warframe. I present to you Chroma, the dragon Warframe. He's a dragon-themed character with powers over every single basic element that this game has. Heat, cold, electricity, and toxin. Let's go over his abilities so we know what we're dealing here with. First ability, the ability that had so many better options for a name, but the devs choose Spectral Scream. Pressing the ability button makes you cycle through your 4 elements. Holding it makes Chroma puke up one part of the rainbow in a destructive stream of energy. This puke can also chain from the target you hit to a second one, but not from the second one to the third one. Every tick of this ability is 1 second and chain happens every tick. This ability is a very good status sprayer and it's pretty decent at wiping low level enemies. It also works great with Condition Overlord since you can use your melee weapon when this ability is active. Now, Spectral Scream is the ability I want to focus on today, but I will just quickly run over the other 3. Second ability, Elemental Ward. Chroma pukes on himself and gets one of the 4 elemental buffs. Third ability, Vex Armor. You hit me, I hit you back harder. If your shields get hurt, you get more armor. If your HP gets hurt, your weapons deal more damage. This includes Spectral Scream, but it didn't work for most of Chroma's existence. This buff to Spectral Scream, Vex just didn't work on it for some reason. Luckily it got patched like 1 year ago or something. Fourth ability, Effigy. Now me and my skin will try to kill you. You basically skin yourself and your skin becomes sentient and has 3 abilities. Glass Shattering Scream, Coronavirus Distancing, and Rainbow Puke, like Chroma, eh? Now, in my opinion, each of these abilities has a problem. Spectral Scream is very weak in late game, even with the Vex Armor buff that it gets for its damage. The tick rate is just simply too low and there's no way to increase it. Elemental Ward is okay, it's decent in late games, it's dragony enough, but it's just a buff, there's not much more to say to it. You get some interactions for like getting close to enemies with heat and toxin, apply some damage and status to them, and if you have the toxin ward up, switching your weapons gives you a buff, but no one does that because it's just not worth it. Vex Armor is very good in late game and it's more or less the only ability the community likes. The rest of them are mostly just thrown out the window, but in my opinion it's just not dragony enough. It's just I get angry and stronger. Wah. You get the point. Effigy. It's kinda uninteractive. You just put it down and let it do its thing. In low level, you can basically just put it down and went to the toilet and the game will do itself. There is an augment to make it that you can move it, so it gets more interactive and it like dashes and flies across. It hits enemy, and for every enemy it hits, it really generates some energy, and you can technically just bring it with you. Pressing it every 1.5 seconds basically makes it follow you and regenerate your energy if it hits enough enemies. It can actually outdo itself in energy consumption and energy regen. Now, if you've noticed, I love Spectral Scream. It was one of my favorite abilities because I picked up this game when I was too young, definitely not 18. I'm still not. I basically fell in love with Chroma the first time I saw him, and it was his coolest ability. It killed everything. Back then I was fighting like level 10 enemies, so excuse me. And Vex armor was just kinda useless in my opinion. It was a boring buff, so I never really changed my opinion. So right now I love Spectral Scream and hate Vex armor enough to nail it across. And I'm more or less in the middle for effigy and elemental ward. So today I want to make Chroma as dragony as possible by using his 4 elements and Spectral Scream. And I'll probably try to just squeeze the augment for effigy in as well. Now this is a fun build. It's not the most serious one. This won't be a build you can go on level 9999. Highly doubt it. Now for today's build we need 3 things. Archon mods, which will give new effects to your elemental abilities and give you some basic boosts like more energy, more HP, more duration and more range on your abilities. I don't really use the ability strength one because it just doesn't have elemental attributes, and the cold one is just not useful because you barely ever get a kill with the cold element breath, or just any kind of cold in Chroma's kit. Maybe effigy, but not even he can get that. The second thing is Vex armor's augment, which is guardian armor, gives you uptime on Vex armor. And the third thing is mold augment, which gives you ability strength on every kill. It's up to 60, which means your Vex armor gets buffed and your Spectral Scream gets buffed, and then Vex armor buffs your Spectral Scream again. Now there are 3 things additional you could take. First is the effigy augment, so it can follow you, basically be more useful. You could also take the aim glide duration mod and zero gravity mod, so you could basically fly around like a dragon. And arcane ice storm might also be useful. I think you need to apply 10 stacks of cold onto an enemy, or just 10 stacks. I'm not sure, because when I was testing out the max I was able to get with Spectral Scream alone was 6 stacks, so I do not know if that works. I don't have the arcane. Sorry, I haven't tested it on that. Also, the ability to basically fly around with the aim glide and bullet jumps is good because AI in Warframe is programmed to have its accuracy decreased if you are moving fast. The faster you're moving, the less accuracy it has. So that's a good thing. Now, this patch sheet includes the effects of Archon mods. As I said, I don't use the cold one, so it doesn't help anyway, so it's not included. But let's go Spectral Scream first over. The fire one, basically each fire status effect is duplicated because of the Archon mod, so it's used as armor strip and damage. The electricity, the Archon mods make it that each hit refunds some of the energy, so it's basically for low energy and infested, because it's the only one that chains infinitely. So basically the best to use with infested. Now toxin, each time you apply a toxin status effect, the Archon mods also applies a corrosive status effect, which is for armor strip again, And we all know that toxin kills corpus instantly, so it's basically when you're fighting against corrupted or just need more armor strip for Grenier or just fighting corpus. Basically, F everyone, I'm killing you. Now cold is the calm the fuck down button for infested, basically just to slow the enemy so you can get a sense if everything goes a little bit too wild. Now for the elemental ward, the fire one multiplies your HP for its duration, so use it when you're low HP. The electricity one makes bullets that hit you, basically every time a bullet hits you, an electric bolt fires off into the one that shot you, so it's good against corpus. I think they have a lot of ranged weapons, I think. Now the toxin one is the one you use if you're fighting raged. So basically it gives you an aura of basically toxic status effect. So if anyone tries to sneak up behind you, they just get insta-toxic and corrosive because of the Archon. And switching your weapons gives you a small damage boost. It gives you a damage boost for a small amount of time. I think it's like 5 seconds or something. And cold elemental ward gives you armor and makes bullets bounce off and apply cold status effect. I don't know how much, but I think it gives actually quite a lot of cold status effects. So basically fire is for damage, electricity is for when you're low on energy, toxin is basically FU corpus, and cold is for CC. Now for the funny fact of the day. If you transfer to operator while spectral scheme is active on your Chroma, he will continue to breathe out elemental rainbow of destruction, basically make him into a little silly but still maybe useful Draco turret. It would actually be pretty useful for like 1 second when you're out with operator, but the problem is because of the way he stands, his head is very low, so it doesn't have much range, and the angle of which the attack is actually made is kind of low, but it's still you don't have to deactivate it and activate it, so that's good. Now at the end of the day, Spectral Scream and all out Chroma needs some buffs and changes, because to be honest he just doesn't feel much of a dragon. He just has his elemental Spectral Scream, I'm forgetting his stupid name, and 2 buffs, so very uninteractive, and a turret that just doesn't make him dragony in my opinion. So the first thing I do is make Spectral Scream be affected by melee mods, the mods you have on your melee. And for example, attack speed would increase your tick rate, which would be, even that would be enough of a game changer. It would make it much better, because I think it has like 1000 damage when you have max Vex armor on, I think like 150 or something energy, I mean it's ability strength, so that would probably be enough, like 10,000 damage every half a second. That would be good. The second thing I would do is this is just more of a visual thing, but when you switch from element to element, all your active abilities change, so you're or toxin or cold or electricity or fire, you can't have mixed. And also the immense color would change, because it just looks so ugly when you have red ice, or I don't know, purple poison or green lightning. Just that doesn't look that good. You should have 4 distinct immense colors for every element, so you can customize it as you wish. That's more of it. That's all we need. So like and sub and follow me on Twitch. Bye!